Right, so Aisha Ibrahim is going to be taking us through Joy News Interactive. Hello, Aisha.
Hello, Israel. And you know how to join this conversation. It's on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. On Twitter, it's on Joy News. And you know the rules of the game. You keep it tight. No harsh words. Let's have a beautiful conversation. Now, pupils from the 3 communities in the Bunkpurugu district have been advised to register as private candidates later in the year to write 2 papers that they missed. This option was offered to them by WAEC after parents and residents of those communities prevented their children from writing their papers at the exam center in Bankoni because of a conflict there. Now, according to the parents, they had requested for a change in venue, but it wasn't made available to them. Question, what would you have done if you're a parent and you found yourself in this situation? And what do you think WAEC's position is fair?
I don't think we have to blame WAEC. You know, they work with a set of rules, and we cannot blame them as such. Every parent will have a feeling for their children. Maybe they would have laced their programs with the district director or maybe the regional director so that the provisions could be made for that, or adequate security could be made for them. November, December, I don't know if November, December, they still can qualify to enter the secondary schools, by which time the placement might have already been done. But there could always be a resolution. So let the stakeholders that are involved come together to see where they can put it amicably.
Actually, no need, for parents, to pull their children, out. If only, the Ministry of Education or the government is able to organize, some kind of a transportation, system, or some kind of a protection, system, which would make the parents, comfortable, leaving their children, to go and write, exams. Yeah, so personally, I think my situation is I may not know all the information, even though you seem to have given me some background info, but I worry about, the fact, that parents are able to pull out, their kids, from away from writing, exams, just because of, this confrontation. I think.
So does that mean you think WAEC's decision was fair?
Well, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't castigate, WAEC, okay? Yeah, because maybe the situation, was such, that they couldn't probably, put together the necessary logistics, to help, their parents keep, their children in school. If that is so, then it means the Ministry of Education also has to bear, part of the blunt, for what has, occurred.
Know that provision for that from the beginning. So as you withdraw your word from examination center not to write, meaning that that's the end. You punish your word, but not the government.
Well, let's go straight to Facebook and see what you've been writing.
Well, Foreha Kanjo says, if I were a parent, I wouldn't have prevented my ward from writing the exams. Educational issues must not be linked to social conflicts. The parents of the affected students acted in bad faith, and I suggest they should avoid that in subsequent years to come. It is highly impossible to please everyone, and so we all must learn to accept circumstances at hand, whether they favor us or not. And then Judicious comes to reply and says, bro, do you want to tell me that you will set your ward and a risk and at a point whereby the situation on the ground is not secured, all because of exams? Okay, then Judicious comes to a substantive comment. Why should stop such a monopolistic attitude and think about the children's future? I totally agree with parents for not allowing their wards to take such a risk and curiosity, all because of exams. I think WAEC should give them the opportunity to write the paper without paying anything, because parents gave them notification about the situation on the ground as not secured. I think it's unfair, and parents should go demonstrate against WAEC, period. Kwesi Boateng says, whilst others are fighting for the future of their children, you people are there fighting over a parcel of land. which has even resulted in your wards missing exams. WAEC has been even charitable with them. How can we even develop as a nation with some of this mentality?
And also, in spite of the diplomatic spat that arose between the two countries, I mean Ghana and China, when the fight against galamsey started in earnest, the Chinese embassy has made a donation of $10,000 to the Attorney General's office. Now, the Chinese ambassador, Madame Sun Buahong, made the donation, which included desktop computers and printers. Many on social media are skeptical about this gesture, and they think it's a ploy to get government to sympathize with the Chinese who are engaged in such illegal mining activities. Kwashing, what's your position on this?
For me, I think as long as we have long-term bilateral relations with China, we have very good international relations with China. So I don't see anything wrong with that. What I think is that they are telling us to do our work or do our homework well. Because if you don't actually tighten your own immigration systems and policies and all that, your policing and all that, and then you allow people to come all the way from China, look at the distance. They come and then they try to use all possible means to, take away your natural resources, not even in the right way, using unethical and non-compliance means of what? Taking away your natural resources. It tells you that we are people who needs to work on our policies concerning entering our country, concerning even our natural resources.
I think the timing is not appropriate, and it's important. It comes as a sort of, if you ask me, inducement, so that the rates and the pressure the government is putting just to make sure that things are done well, and then we could just do away with the illegal mining and the subsequent destruction of our water bodies. So if you ask me, I would say they should tread cautiously.
All right, on Facebook, a lot of your messages are there. Israel help them check them out.
All right, so whilst he works on, David works on bringing us those comments, one of the issues that has come up is people are wondering, why do we go for a donation that's 10,000 cedis? It's too little. It's too scanty for us to even accept.
That's about 40,000 Ghana cedis.
We should be taking, if it's $1 million, then yes, we want to talk about it.
Definitely.
Adora Mystical Brahma says, yes, this is just a token of what the Chinese people took from our land, robbing Peter to pay Paul. He left out the pay. Now that we've accepted this so-called donations, license has been given for the continuation of galamsey activities. And Janelle Bright says, these Chinese think we're fools. Well, let's see what the AG will do. Arrest all of those illegal miners and deport them. We have laid down our respect as a nation and our integrity. Our country is not a playground for people to come in and do whatever they want. I trust John Amewu will do a good job. Don't be fooled by those things. It's best they even ask why they are donating all those things before accepting them.
Bawa Musa says, our elders advise us not to reject a good gesture like this one. We can at least take solace in what Mr. Amewu said when interviewed on City last week. The Chinese are genuinely behind our good cause. Charles Thompson says that money should be donated to the Osu Children's Home. One strongly believes there is something sinister going on in the country. And those are some of your comments on. And
there are others too who are worried about the nature of the gift, the computers, because yes, they're saying that if a foreign, government is giving you computers, you're giving them too much access into your systems. If these computers are to be used by the AGs.
Definitely. Yes, of course. I mean, there could be some truth in what they're saying. Well, concerns have been raised about people sitting at the gift table of wedding receptions and running away with gift envelopes instead of accounting for them and handing them over to the newly wedded couple. The question I ask, what do you think should be done to check some of these things?
I will just give it to God and then, because maybe the money coming to me is not my money, and God wants to take the money maybe to save my life or to save my marriage. So I'll just leave it.
You have to make sure they jot down your name and mention out your name to the audience to know that you have deposited something or given the couple something, to appreciate them of what they did. Yeah, I think you have to be vigilant. That's all I can say about that.
So what about those who now they've done it, they've run away with the money? How do you
You can't run away with the money like that. There will surely be security around. You can't run away like that. Someone will personally find you and chase you.
I don't know if to say they should be made to pay back or they should be punished or like, I don't know. But then I think the only thing you can do is to kind of ask for your money back, if that's possible.
All right, let's check what you've been saying on Facebook.
Ayepa says, any newly wedded couple who become victim of this situation should be whipped. Gift tables are normally manned by family members or close pals. So why should you allow yourself to be cheated like that? Poor organization. And then Judicious Eric says, but what I know is that both couples select someone to do that job. But how come was there a shortage of family members? Maybe they were owing him and he decided to pay himself at that point to the guests, because
sometimes even the family members themselves, you never know who to trust.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but Israel, when is Father's Day this month? It's this month, right? Or July?
I'm not actually sure. You have made it, I mean, you ladies have made it possible that we forget about these.
I'm not sure, Israel. But